The year was 2187, and the galaxy thought they knew everything about humans. The alien races believed humans were still stuck in their small corner of space, barely able to travel between a few star systems. They were wrong. Very, very wrong. Admiral Kim Tae-min stood on the bridge of the Silent Thunder, watching the stars through the viewport. To any alien scanner, his ship looked like a simple cargo vessel carrying supplies between human colonies. But the Silent Thunder was much more than that. Hidden beneath its ordinary hull was the most advanced warship humanity had ever built. Status. Report, Dr. Park, the Admiral said to the woman standing beside him. Dr. Park Hye-jin, the Chief Technology Officer of Project Vanguard, smiled as she looked at her tablet. All systems are working perfectly, sir. The stealth field is holding strong. Even the Velhari observers couldn't detect us if they tried. The Admiral nodded. The Velhari were energy beings who watched over new species in the galaxy. They thought humans were just another young race struggling to leave their home planet. If they knew the truth, everything would change. Captain Lee Dong-ho walked over to them. He had just returned from a reconnaissance mission to survey another star system for human colonization. Sir, I have good news. The Kepler 438 system is perfect for our next colony. 3 planets suitable for human life, and not a single alien presence in the entire system. Excellent work, Captain, Admiral Kim said. How many secret colonies does that make now? 47, sir, Commander Choi Soo-jin answered from her station. As head of intelligence, she kept track of every human settlement that the galaxy didn't know about. And our population in these hidden colonies has reached 4 billion people. The bridge crew worked quietly around them. Unlike the cramped, struggling ships that humans showed to other species, this vessel was spacious and clean. The technology was centuries ahead of what the galaxy believed humans possessed. 6 months earlier, during a diplomatic meeting on the neutral station, Harmony, Point Ambassador Song Mi-rae had played her role perfectly. She had pretended that human ships were slow and unreliable. She had acted surprised when alien diplomats talked about faster-than-light communication. The aliens had left the meeting convinced that humans were still centuries behind them in technology. Remember, Admiral Kim said to his crew, what we do here stays here. The future of humanity depends on this secret. Dr. Park pulled up a holographic display showing their latest breakthrough. Sir, we've made another advancement in our dimensional drives. Our ships can now travel between galaxies if needed. But to the aliens, we still pretend our fastest ships take weeks to travel between nearby stars. The Admiral walked to the tactical display. It showed the real map of human space, not the tiny area the galaxy knew about, but the vast empire they had actually built. Hidden shipyards floated in asteroid fields, producing hundreds of new vessels each year. Secret mining operations stripped resources from dead worlds while alien surveyors remained clueless. Dr. Park, how are our underground shipyards performing? The Admiral asked. Better than expected, sir. The facility hidden in the Tau Ceti asteroid belt finished 3 more destroyers last week. The shipyard we built inside the gas giant at Wolf 359 completed a new battleship, all without a single alien scanner detecting them. Commander Choi received a message on her communicator. Sir, we have a situation. Alien observers are approaching the Sol system. They want to inspect our progress in interstellar travel. The Admiral's expression didn't change. This was exactly what they had prepared for. Send word to Earth. Operation Primitive Shield is now active. Make sure every ship in the inner system looks old and slow. Hide all our advanced technology. Within hours, human bases throughout the Sol system were transforming. Advanced weapons platforms folded into asteroids. Cutting-edge laboratories shut down their exotic experiments. The mighty Earth defense fleet moved to hidden positions beyond Neptune, replaced by older, slower ships that would play the part of humanity's best defense. Captain Lee received new orders. Sir, I'm to take the humble explorer to meet the alien delegation. They want to see our latest interstellar vessel. Everyone on the bridge tried not to laugh. The humble explorer was designed to look like humanity's most advanced ship. In reality, it was deliberately built with outdated technology. Its engines were noisy and inefficient. Its hull was thick and crude. Its weapons were pathetically weak. by human standards. Remember your briefing, Captain, Admiral Kim said. Act amazed by their technology. Ask lots of questions about basic space travel. Make them think we're still figuring out how to leave our own solar system. As the captain left for his mission, Dr. Park showed the Admiral their latest intelligence reports. Sir, our deep space probes have detected something interesting. There's movement in the void zone, beyond the galactic rim. Unknown ships, very large, heading toward our galaxy. The Admiral studied the data. Keep monitoring them. If these are the invaders our long-range sensors predicted, we'll need to be ready. How many species in the galaxy know about this threat? None, sir, Commander Choi replied. We're the only ones with sensors advanced enough to detect them at such extreme range. Our quantum telescopes are centuries ahead of anything the other species have. The Admiral looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, alien races continued their normal lives, believing humans were weak and primitive. They had no idea that humanity had spread across nearly 50 star systems. They didn't know about the massive fleet hidden throughout human space. They couldn't imagine the weapons and defenses humanity had secretly built. Sir, Dr. Park said quietly, do you ever feel guilty about deceiving them? Admiral Kim was quiet for a moment. I feel guilty that we have to. But humanity learned hard lessons in our early contacts with aliens. They expect young species to stay in their place. They fear competition. If they knew our real strength, some would try to destroy us before we became a threat. He turned to face his crew. We're not doing this to hurt anyone. We're doing this to survive. When danger comes to this galaxy, and it will come, humanity will be ready. The other species will see then that everything we've done was necessary. Captain Lee's voice came through the communicator. Alien delegation has arrived. Beginning. Operation Primitive Shield now. We'll report back with their assessment of our primitive technology. Admiral Kim smiled. Let the aliens think humans were weak. Let them believe humanity was still struggling with basic interstellar travel. Soon enough, they would learn the truth. And when that day came, they would be very glad that humanity had been preparing in secret all these years. The Silent Thunder continued its patrol, invisible to alien scanners, protecting secrets that would reshape the galaxy. In the hidden shipyards, new vessels took shape. In secret colonies, human children grew up learning technologies the galaxy didn't know existed. The first part of humanity's greatest deception was working perfectly. The question was, how long could they keep it hidden? The answer would come sooner than anyone expected. 3 months had passed since the alien inspection of human space. President Yu Jinwoo sat in his secret office deep beneath Seoul, reading reports that would shock the galaxy. The aliens still believed humans were weak and primitive. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Mr. President, Commander Choi Soo-jin said as she entered the room, our deep space sensors have confirmed it. The unknown ships are definitely heading for our galaxy. They're moving faster than we first thought. Ambassador Song Mi-rae, recently returned from the Galactic Council, shook her head. The other species are completely unprepared. They're still arguing about trade routes and mining rights. They have no idea what's coming. President Yu looked at the holographic display showing the approaching vessels. The ships were massive, bigger than anything in the galaxy. Their design was unlike anything humanity had seen before. What do we know about them? The president asked. We've designated them the Zephyrians, said General Han Kyung-soo, commander of strategic defense. Our long-range probes got close enough to scan one ship. The technology is advanced, but their shields have weaknesses. More importantly, they're definitely hostile. They've already destroyed 3 uninhabited systems on their approach path. Lieutenant Nam So-young, one of their youngest intelligence officers, entered the room with urgent news. Sir, we have a problem. The Kethran have been spying on us. Kethran were insect-like aliens known for their excellent spying skills. They gathered information for multiple alien governments and sold it to the highest bidder. Tell me, President Yu said. One of their agents infiltrated our Jupiter mining station, Lieutenant Nam explained. We caught them, but they saw too much. They know we have advanced mining equipment. They know our real population numbers. Ambassador Song stood up quickly. This is a disaster. If the Kethron tell the other species what they've seen, the galaxy will panic, General Han finished. They'll demand restrictions on human expansion. Some might even attack us before we become too powerful. President Yu was quiet for a moment. How long before the Zephyrians arrive? 6 months, sir, Commander Choi replied. Maybe less. Then we have a choice, the president said. We can continue hiding and hope the galaxy survives the Zephyrian attack, or we can reveal some of our strength to help defend against this threat. 3 days later, an emergency session of the Galactic Council was called. Representatives from dozens of species gathered on the neutral station Concordia. Ambassador Song sat with other human representatives, preparing for what would be the most important diplomatic meeting in human history. Fleet Captain Vexhai of the Velhari opened the meeting. His energy form flickered with concern. Council, members, we have received disturbing intelligence from the Kethron. They claim to have evidence that humanity has been deceiving us about their true capabilities. Whispers filled the council chamber. The insect representative from the Kethron clicked his mandibles. Indeed, our agent discovered that humans have advanced technology far beyond what they have shown us. Their mining operations, their population, their ships, all are more advanced than they claim. Ambassador Song took a deep breath. This was it. The moment they had hoped to avoid for a few more years. Council members, she said, standing up. It's true. Humanity has not been completely honest about our development. The chamber erupted in angry buzzing, chirping, and other alien sounds of protest. However, Ambassador Song continued, raising her voice, we had good reasons. We were preparing for a threat that the galaxy doesn't yet know about. She activated a holographic display showing the Zephyrian fleet approaching from outside the T galaxy. These ships will arrive in 6 months, she said. They have already destroyed 3 solar systems. They are coming to conquer our galaxy. The chamber fell silent. The alien representatives stared at the massive ships in the display. Director Moltar of the Zerathi, one of the galaxy's oldest civilizations, spoke first. How did humans detect this threat when our sensors could not? Our deep space sensor network extends beyond the galactic rim, Ambassador Song replied. We've been monitoring external threats for decades. Lies, screamed Representative Zix from the militaristic Kraxi species. Humans are trying to trick us. They want to use fear to justify their deception. Before Ambassador Song could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. A panicked voice came over the communication system. All stations, this is Beacon Station at the Galactic Rim. We are under attack. Unknown hostile forces. They're destroying everything. Request immediate. The transmission cut to static. The council chamber was chaos. Representatives shouted in dozens of languages. Some demanded immediate evacuation. Others called for military mobilization. Ambassador Song stood at her podium and said clearly, humanity offers our assistance. What can you possibly do? Mocked Representative Zix. Your ships can barely reach the next star system. Ambassador Song smiled. Mr. President, please authorize the release of our first squadron. President Yu's voice came through the communication system from Earth. Authorization granted. Admiral Bei Wanho, you may reveal Squadron 1. The main screen in the chamber switched to a view of space near the attacked beacon station. Suddenly, space itself seemed to shimmer, and ships appeared as if from nowhere. Not just a few ships. Dozens of sleek, powerful vessels that looked nothing like the crude human ships the galaxy had seen before. Admiral Bei Wanho's voice filled the chamber. This is Admiral Bei of the Human Defense Fleet, 1st Squadron. We are engaging the hostile forces now. The Council watched in stunned silence as human ships moved with impossible speed and grace. Their weapons fired beams of pure energy that cut through enemy shields like paper. In minutes, the attacking Zephyrian scouts were destroyed. But the galaxy's shock was just beginning. More human ships appeared, hundreds of them emerging from hidden positions throughout local space. Council members, Ambassador Song said, humanity has 47 colonies, and a fleet of over 2,000 advanced warships. We've been preparing for this threat for 50 years. Representative Zix's mandibles clicked in disbelief. Impossible. Our best scouts reported only 3 human colonies. Your scouts saw what we wanted them to see, Ambassador Song replied gently. We're not your enemies. We've been your secret guardians, preparing for a threat we knew would come. Director Moltar stood up, his ancient form shaking. The humans have been protecting us? While we treated them as primitive children? Yes, Ambassador Song said, and now we need your help. The main Zephyrian fleet is still coming. Our ships are advanced, but we can't face them alone. Over the next hour, humanity revealed more of their true capabilities. Secret shipyards hidden in asteroid fields, weapons, technology centuries ahead of the galactic standard, defensive platforms disguised as dead asteroids, a communication network that could coordinate fleets across thousands of light-years instantly. Some species, like the peaceful Moritai, immediately offered alliance with humanity. Others, like the proud Kraxi, demanded to be shown the human homeworlds to verify these claims. Very well, Ambassador Song said. We'll take a delegation to our newest orbital cities, but understand, what you see there will change how you view humanity forever. As the council session ended, General Han updated President Yu from Earth. Sir, the cat's out of the bag now. Half the galaxy knows we've been hiding our strength. Good, President Yu replied. We'll need their trust for what's coming. The Zephyrians that attacked the beacon station were just scouts. The real invasion fleet is still out there. And if the galaxy still tries to restrict us after seeing what we can do? General Han asked. President Yu looked at his tactical displays, showing human ships now openly patrolling several star systems. Then they'll learn that humanity didn't build the largest secret military in galactic history just to give it up without a fight. Lieutenant Nam So-young entered with final reports. Sir, alien intelligence networks are going crazy. They're trying to figure out how many colonies we really have, how many ships we've built. The Kethron are terrified they underestimated us. Let them wonder, President Yu said. They've seen enough to know we're not weak, but they haven't seen everything yet. That will come in the next phase. As human ships openly moved through space for the first time in decades, the galaxy began to realize that they had been sharing space with a sleeping giant. The question now was whether humanity and the other species could work together before the real war began. The Zephyrians were coming, and the galaxy was about to change forever. The main Zephyrian invasion fleet arrived 2 months earlier than expected. Fleet Admiral Bei Wanho stood on the bridge of the Terra's Might, watching as hundreds of massive alien ships poured through dimensional rifts above the Kepler 438 system. Sir, they're targeting our newest colony, reported Captain Kim Jun-ho from his station. 2 million humans live on New Busan. Not anymore, Admiral Bei replied grimly. Order the evacuation fleet to full speed and activate the hidden defenses. The Zephyrian ships were enormous, some as large as small moons. Their dark hulls gleamed with an energy that hurt to look at. They moved slowly but steadily toward the human colony world. Suddenly, space around the Zephyrian fleet exploded with light. Hidden in asteroids and empty space, human defensive platforms revealed themselves. Massive railguns fired tungsten slugs the size of buildings. Energy beams that could slice through planetary crust struck the enemy ships. The Zephyrians had expected to find a few weak human vessels. Instead, they faced a fully prepared defense network. All ships, this is Admiral Bei, he broadcast to the human fleet. Operation Thunderstorm is now active. Show them what humanity really built. Across human space, similar scenes played out. The Zephyrians attacked 12 systems simultaneously, expecting easy victories. They were wrong. At Wolf 359, the gas giant that aliens thought was empty suddenly exploded with activity. The entire planet was hollow, a massive shipyard disguised as a world. Hundreds of human warships poured out of its artificial core. At Proxima Centauri, enemy forces found the human colony defended by orbital fortresses that had been there all along, hidden by advanced stealth fields. Admiral, Commander Park Soo-min, reported, We've made contact with other species' defense fleets. The Velhari are requesting coordination. The Moritai are offering their medical ships. Accept their help, Admiral Bay said. Send coordination protocols to all Allied vessels. Colonel Kang Unju's voice came through the communicator from the planet's surface. Sir, ground teams have secured all evacuation zones, but the enemy is sending landing forces. Big ones. Hold position, Colonel. Admiral Go Seo-hyun's reinforcement fleet is 3 hours out. The Colonel's elite forces had been training in secret for decades. They carried weapons that could punch through the heaviest alien armor. Their powered suits gave them strength and speed far beyond normal humans. As the first Zephyrian dropships entered New Busan's atmosphere, they met something unexpected. The sky filled with human fighters using advanced anti-gravity technology. Energy shields deflected enemy fire. Plasma missiles struck with impossible accuracy. On the orbital station above the planet, engineer Oh Hyun-woo monitored the new ship systems he had designed. Sir, the quantum shields are holding at 90%. Enemy weapons can't penetrate them. What about our dimensional drives? Admiral Bay asked. Ready when you are, sir. We can flank them from 4 dimensions simultaneously. The Admiral smiled. The Zephyrians were about to learn that humanity had been busy for the past 50 years. All ships, prepare for multi-dimensional assault. Lock onto enemy fleet coordinates. Space twisted around the human ships. Reality bent as they moved through. Dimensions the enemy couldn't even detect. Suddenly they appeared inside the Zephyrian formation, firing from all directions. The enemy fleet panicked. Their ships collided with each other trying to turn around. Human weapons found weak spots in their armor that sensors had mapped years. Go in deep space, Agent Ryu Dasam watched the battle from a cloaked observation ship deep in enemy territory. She had spent 3 years infiltrating Zephyrian space, learning their weaknesses. Command, this is Agent Ryu, she transmitted through quantum channels. I found their command ship. It's the massive one with the red energy core. Take it out, and their fleet coordination will collapse. Copy that, Agent Ryu, Admiral Bay replied. Task Force 7, you have your target. Led by Captain Lee Min-ho, 6 human battleships punched through the enemy formation. They were significantly smaller than the Zephyrian command ship, but their weapons were far more advanced. Fire everything, Captain Lee ordered. Beams of concentrated plasma, railgun rounds, and quantum torpedoes struck the enemy command ship. Its shields, which could have protected it from any known galactic weapon, shattered like glass under the human assault. The massive ship broke apart in an explosion visible from 3 star systems away. Without their command vessel, the Zephyrian fleet lost coordination. Human ships pressed their advantage, using superior speed and maneuverability to outfight the larger enemy vessels. At New Busan, Colonel Kang's ground forces had encountered the enemy soldiers. The Zephyrians were 4 meters tall, covered in natural armor, and incredibly strong. But humanity had prepared for this too. Deploy the stormtroopers, the colonel ordered. From hidden bunkers came human soldiers in mechanical suits 8 meters tall. They moved with surprising grace, their weapons firing controlled lightning and explosive plasma. Each suit was like a walking tank, with the intelligence of a human soldier. The Zephyrian ground forces, used to crushing smaller species through brute force, found themselves outmatched by human technology and tactics. Colonel, reported Sergeant Yoon Do-hyun, the enemy is retreating to their ships. We've secured the major cities. On his bridge, Admiral Bay received reports from across the war zone. Human forces were winning on all fronts. The secret preparations were paying off. Sir, Captain Kim said with excitement, long-range sensors show more human fleets arriving from everywhere. Where did all these ships come from? Admiral Bay pulled up a galactic map. Red dots appeared throughout space, each representing a human fleet or base that had been hidden until now. The truth, Captain. We have colonies in 200 star systems, shipyards in 50 different locations, a fleet of over 5,000 ships. The galaxy never knew how far we had spread. Engineer O looked at his sensors in amazement. Sir, the quantum signature from those ships, they're using technology I've never seen before. Some of these vessels are unlike anything in our public fleet. Experimental designs, Admiral Bay explained. Ships built in secret for this war. We've had 50 years to prepare. As the battle continued, human reinforcements kept arriving. Each wave brought new surprises. Ships that could phase in and out of reality. Vessels that converted energy into matter to repair damage instantly. Fighters that moved faster than light in normal space. The first major battle of the war lasted 18 hours. When it ended, the Zephyrian invasion force was completely destroyed, but human casualties were surprisingly light. How? Asked Captain Kim. They're a conquering species. They've destroyed dozens of civilizations. How did we beat them so easily? Admiral Bay pointed to the tactical display. Because we knew they were coming. We studied every species they conquered. We learned from their mistakes. And we built our entire military specifically to fight this enemy. Representatives from other galactic species watched the battle through quantum links, stunned by what they saw. The primitive humans had just defeated an invasion fleet that could have conquered half the galaxy. Director Moltar of the Zerathi sent a message. Human Admiral, our ancient record spoke of a young species that would one day save the galaxy. We begin to understand these prophecies now. Sir, Commander Park reported, we're receiving thousands of messages from across the galaxy. Everyone wants to know how many colonies we really have, how many ships, how advanced our technology really is. Admiral Bay looked out at space where human ships patrolled openly for the first time. Tell them the truth. We have prepared for this war for 5 decades, and we're just getting started. The war with the Zephyrians had begun, but the galaxy was starting to realize that humanity had never been the weak species they pretended to be. The real question now was, what else had humanity been hiding? The answer would reshape the galaxy forever. Tone year after the first Zephyrian attack, Marshal Shin Woo-jin stood on the observation deck of Terra Prime Station. Below him spread the capital of humanity's true empire. Not Earth, but a massive artificial world in the TRAPPIST-1 system. The AO station housed 50 million people and served as the command center for what the galaxy now knew was the Terran Empire. Ships larger than cities floated nearby. Orbital rings held entire populations. The galaxy was still discovering just how far humanity had spread. Admiral Go Seo-hyun's fleet had just returned from the final battle against the Zephyrians. Her ships were battle-scarred but victorious. The enemy's home fleet, which had taken eons to build, was destroyed. Marshal, she reported, approaching him in the observation lounge. It's over. We found their home dimension and sealed it. The Zephyrians can never return to this galaxy. Well done, Admiral, Marshal Shin replied. What was the final count? We destroyed over 3,000 enemy vessels. Their breeding worlds are cut off. Any remaining Zephyrians in our galaxy are trapped here, and our forces are hunting them down. Prime Minister Hong Yuna joined them, carrying news from the Galactic Council. As the leader of humanity's civilian government, she had been managing the political changes that came with their victories. The Council has officially recognized the Terran Empire, she announced. 212 star systems with a total population of 48 billion humans. We're now listed as a level 5 galactic civilization, the same level as the ancient Zerathi. Marshal Shin smiled. 6 months ago, the galaxy had treated humans like children who could barely leave their home system. Now they were recognized as one of the major powers. Dr. Lim Jae-ho, the scientist who led their final weapon research, arrived with his latest report. Marshal, the galactic transformation projects are proceeding ahead of schedule. Our replicator technology is rebuilding the worlds the Zephyrians destroyed. Entire civilizations are being restored. The Marshal nodded. Humanity's gift to the galaxy wasn't just military victory. Their advanced technology could heal worlds, rebuild civilizations, and bring back species that everyone thought were lost forever. Sir, came a voice from behind them. Captain Park Young-jun of Intelligence walked up with a tablet. We've completed our analysis of the pre-war period. The level of deception was incredible even by our standards. Tell us, Prime Minister Hong said. Well, ma'am, Earth itself was the biggest lie of all. The other species thought it was our only advanced world. In reality, Earth housed less than 2% of humanity's population. Our real center of government, industry, and military power was here on Terra Prime and the other hidden systems. Captain, Park continued, our struggling Earth colonies were actually elaborate sets. Real colonies with real people but using deliberately outdated technology. When aliens visited Earth, they saw carefully maintained illusions. Admiral Go laughed. I was part of that operation. Do you remember when the Velhari inspected our most advanced starship? It was actually one of our oldest training vessels. We had to install worse computers to make it look primitive enough. The deception went deeper than anyone realized, Dr. Lim added. Our public research stations were doing real science, but always 50 years behind our secret labs. When alien scientists visited Earth and saw our cutting-edge research, it was already ancient history to us. Marshal Shin pulled up a display showing the true extent of human space. The final tally is impressive. We have colonies in 212 systems. Our fleet numbers over 8,000 vessels of various sizes. Our industrial capacity exceeds most galactic civilizations combined. How did we hide so much for so long? Asked a junior officer who had joined them. Patience, Prime Minister Hong replied. Humanity spent a century perfecting stealth and deception technology before we ever left Earth. By the time we met other species, we could hide entire fleets in empty space. Captain Park nodded. Plus, we used the other species' own prejudices against them. They expected young species to be weak and limited. They saw what they wanted to see. The question now, Marshal Shin said, is what comes next. We've saved the galaxy from invasion. We've proven we're not the weak species everyone thought. But how do we move forward? Prime Minister Hong had been working on this exact problem. The Council is proposing something called the Terran Allied Coalition, a defensive alliance with humanity as a major partner, not a junior member. And the species that wanted to restrict us after learning our true strength? Admiral Go asked. Oddly enough, most have apologized. The Craxi delegation admitted they were wrong to demand limitations on human expansion. They said any species that could defeat the Zephyrians deserved respect, not restrictions. Dr. Lim pulled up his latest project. We're sharing some of our technology with allied species. Medical advances, agricultural improvements, better communications. Nothing military, but enough to show our good intentions. Speaking of good intentions, Captain Park said, our sociology teams have completed their study. Over 90% of galactic citizens now view humanity positively. They're calling us the savior species. Marshal Shin looked thoughtful. That's a heavy responsibility. The galaxy is looking to us for leadership. Which brings us to the biggest change, Prime Minister Hong said. Terra Prime will become the new neutral ground for galactic diplomacy. We're building the largest meeting space in the galaxy. Every species will have a permanent embassy here. Admiral Go raised an eyebrow. We're really going to reveal everything? Our entire empire? Not everything, Marshal Shin said with a small smile. We'll show them what we've built. They'll see our colonies, our fleets, our technology. But some secrets must remain. A wise empire always keeps some cards hidden. Like what? The junior officer asked. Captain Park grinned. Like our exploration fleets that have already reached 3 other galaxies. Like the quantum computers that can predict galactic events decades in advance. Like the dimensional gates that could move our entire civilization to another reality if needed. The galaxy thinks they know humanity now, Marshal Shin said. They believe they've seen our full strength. Let them think that. It's better they sleep peacefully. As they spoke, construction ships worked on massive projects throughout human space. New shipyards bigger than planets. Educational centers where alien students learned alongside humans. Trade stations that would revolutionize galactic commerce. Dr. Lim showed them images from one project. This is the Harmony Ring around Terra Prime. When complete, it will house representatives from every species in the galaxy. A place where former enemies can work together. Sir, reported Commander Lee Soo-jin from the communications station. We're receiving a message from Earth. They're completing the final phase of Operation Reset. Ah yes, Prime Minister Hong said. We're finally showing Earth's real development. No more hiding advanced technology behind fake primitiveness. Marshal Shin looked out at the vast construction projects surrounding Terra Prime. You know, we spent so long hiding our strength that we almost forgot how powerful we had become. Will we miss it? Admiral Go asked. The secret empire, the hidden strength? Maybe, the Marshal replied, but hiding was never the goal. Survival was. And now that we've survived, it's time to build something better. Prime Minister Hong received a final report. Sir, the last Zephyrian stronghold has been captured. The galaxy is officially free from their threat. As the sun set over Terra Prime's artificial landscape, humanity looked toward a new future. No longer the secret guardians hiding in shadows. No longer the species everyone underestimated. They were now the Terran Empire, a major power in a galaxy they had helped save. One more thing, Captain Park said, smiling. Our deep space monitors have detected something interesting in the Andromeda galaxy. Signs of an ancient civilization awakening. Should we prepare another deception operation? Marshal Shin laughed. Let's focus on building the peace we fought. For if Andromeda wants to meet the Terran Empire, they'll meet us honestly this time. The age of secrets was ending. The age of the Terran Empire had begun. And in the deepest vaults of Terra Prime, a small team of scientists worked on humanity's next great project, one the galaxy wouldn't discover for another century. Some habits, after all, die hard.